Well, I have heard it said that people need to add a zero to their pricing. I don't know whether you think that's a bit of extreme, but in terms of your experience,
Well,
what would you say on average is the amount that people should increase their pricing by?
um, I would say 673%. No, I'm just sound intelligent. Adding a zero, that's like a 1,000% increase. And I, there may be some situation that applies. Um, but I work with contractors. I work with specialty docs. I work with people that've got a whole lot of competitors, and people do price shop, right? And so that's how we the scripts that we help write for them so that they don't talk about price, but they talk about value is huge. But I find most companies, like if I were working with a remodeler or or a plumber or electrician or even a doctor down the road, I would say you can start immediately with a 10% increase. And for most people, you can actually start with a 20% increase. So let's say your normal visit to do a service call is $300 or 299 pounds. They're about the same. um, Unfortunately, that's probably not anything to joke about, but the pound's still worth more than a dollar, but not near as much as it should. A 20% increase means instead of charging 300, you're charging 360. Well, what that does, or 330 if it's 10%, what that does is that 10% or 15 or 20%, that adds right to your bottom line. And there are some people that are charging just for their labor. That's all they're paying. And there's two ways that a business owner should make money. They should make money for any work they do themselves. So they should get paid labor. If they're not on the front lines doing it, but they're managing their company, or if they're doing the work, they should get paid labor. And then the second way they should get paid is their business should make a profit. And those are two separate transactions. And I hope that helps the folks watching this, because what we've done in our estimating is we'll say, listen, let me look at your estimating process here. Okay, I see this, this, this. You have a little bit of markup here. And we say, what's missing here is you don't have 20% for your profit. So, well, I can't show the client that. I said, you can build that into your pricing. You don't have to necessarily show it out, right? But you want to make sure you've got built in there at least 20% profit. So that means you've got, all the costs you have here and the overhead that you have. A lot of times we're missing profit and overhead in our estimating. And when you add those in there, then yeah, it's higher, but you make a reasonable profit.
Have you got any thoughts around the conversation with existing clients and price increases?
Well, okay, so here's one thought. We say, well, listen, they've been paying this for the last 5 years. I mean, I can't just raise the price. They're going to leave me. And let's say that inflation, it's been crazy nowadays, right? But let's say inflation is just 3% a year. If you don't, if you don't raise your price for 5 years, you're actually losing about 16 to 17% of your profit by staying the same. And your fear of raising your prices because clients will leave is mainly a fear we create ourselves. And the clients that will leave with a moderate increase, I mean, adding a zero may be a little aggressive, but putting 10, 15, or 20% on there. As a matter of fact, I worked with a guy. He was an electrical contractor up in Kansas City area, and he was generating about $125,000 a month in gross revenue. And when we looked at his P&L, he thought he was making some profit, not near as much as he wanted to. But when I looked at it over several months, he wasn't making any profit. He was breaking even. And he was upset about it. And I go, well, I got more reason for you to be upset. You're not making any money for your business. You're paying yourself labor, but you're not making profit as a business. And I said, I'd like for you to increase your prices 20%. Boom, off the bat. He said, there's no way I'm going to do that. I said, okay, well, let's just try 10%. Well, I can't even do that. Everybody's going to leave me. And I said, I'm going to bet you a steak dinner. And for you vegetarians out there, please forgive me just for a moment. I'm going to bet you a steak dinner. He's coming down to Tulsa in Oklahoma, and he's coming down there. We're going to do some filming and work on his business. And I said, you come down now. If you have any more than 2 of your customers complain about the price increase, then steak dinner's on me. But if you have 2 or less complain, then you're not only buying me a steak dinner, but I'm going to invite my girlfriend, who happens to be my wife of 33 years. And we're going to just make sure we come really hungry. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So we're kind of kidding around with that. Well, he bought us a steak dinner, He said,
Very
yeah,
nice.
it's just nobody complained. He said, one guy was like questioning because I made a 1-year commitment. I said, well, that's different. I said, if you've given your word on a contract basis over a certain period of time, then don't go back on your word. That's the worst thing you do in your business. But he's hitting between $500,000 and $600,000 a month. He's at 20%. One part of his business is at 23%. Just talked to him a little bit ago. And so he's making $1 million a year in profits, besides paying himself a decent, salary for the wages of him working in the business. Well, now he's hardly spending any time at all in the business. He's still paying himself a decent salary. So, I'm going to say something, Thomas, that may be controversial to some of your folks, but I'm going to say it anyway. Just if I can get them to think about it and consider maybe changing their approach, this is what it's for. The primary purpose of your business is not to serve your customers. Now that would be that's ludicrous. That's a lot of, no. Now, if you don't serve your customers well, your business won't fulfill its main purpose. So that's important. But what is the main purpose of the business? I'm going to suggest this, and this may help people. Some of you guys may be irritated at me, and we'll give you my email or however you want to contact, and you can yell at me and throw tomatoes at me, whatever you want to do. But I believe the main purpose of your business is to serve you, the owner. Okay? And so now if you don't treat your employees well, the business won't serve you. If you don't treat your customers well, your business won't serve you. But what we do in our coaching is we redesign what we want the business, how we want the business to behave, and where we want it, where you want it to take you. And then we reverse engineer that to get you to that point. Okay. That's what our coaching does. And then we keep you on track, and we do a whole bunch of stuff for you to keep you on track. And so that's something that a lot of people don't think about, and so that's why they're taking calls in the middle of an awesome date. Oh no, this client's call. Sorry, honey. Well, stop doing that. Start being fully present with the people you're at. It's not that you hate your clients, and some of you are in a position you've got to answer the call every time they call. But we've got to train our business to work for us instead of us working for the business.